We're off to Sydney now to visit John McCormack. John's one of the earliest members of the TR Register in Australia, and his TR is his daily driver. He's not just got one though, so it's going to be a great one to see. We're going to be driving over the Sydney Harbour Bridge, the ANZAC Bridge, and hopefully we can get down nice and close to Lynley Point as well, so join us. It's going to be a great trip.
I'm John McCormack, and this is my 1954 Triumph TR2 that I've owned for 50 years. I bought it in February 1976. It's a very original TR2, original drum brakes, original steering. It's actually done in its original colours, British Racing Green, red leather interior and fawn top and the weather gear. So it's a very original car. It does have a couple of modifications. It's got a Triumph TR4 cylinder head and carburettors on it, which was when I bought the car.
In November 1975, I nearly died in a surfing accident. On release from hospital, I felt the pressing need to do things I'd wanted to do, one of which was to own a classic sports car. I'd owned Morris Minors, Hillman Minx, Mini Panel Van, Mini Cooper S, but I needed a sports car. I found this Triumph TR2 at a very well-known Sydney used sports car dealership, and I bought it. I was in the Navy then, and based at Nowra, about 100 miles outside Sydney. On the Sunday I drove the TR down to base, much of the way in pouring rain, with no instruments, no top, no wipers, and noises from the rear end. I had been taken for a ride by the dealer. I don't recall the details now, but I must sort it all out. I met Sue, my wife, in 1978, and I reckon she loved the car before she was attracted to me. Soon after we married, I was posted to Darwin, where I continued to use the TR2 as an everyday car. The TR2 has been and remains my daily driver.
I've done about 250,000 miles in it, 400,000 kilometres over those 50 years. In the early years it was the only car I had, so it did a lot of miles, and it's still my everyday car. It goes to Bunnings, Dan Murphy's, Coles, I take the rubbish to the tip in it, and it's been to Adelaide a couple of times, Hobart, it goes everywhere. I always wanted a TR6. I got my licence in 1970. And TR6s were new then, and I watched the TR6 take off from the lights, the back end would go down and it'd go off with this wonderful howl. I thought, one day I'm going to have one of them. And so when we got this place and we'd sold our house in Chatswood, we downsized, I used a bit of the money and bought this TR6. That's now coming up towards 10 years ago. It's just a wonderful car to drive. Then in 2017, one of the register members rang me up. I was a state coordinator at the time. And he had this TR2 that he'd bought in 1966. It was an ex-race car, done nothing but racing. He'd redone the body work as part of his course he did. And the engine had been rebuilt, but it needed finishing. He said, I'm going to have to move it on. So I ended up buying it off him. And because it was so original, and being an early long-door TR2, I thought, I'm going to rebuild this as a concourse car. So I did. I managed to drive it 10,000 kilometres in the 3 or 4 years after I finished it. It's won 4 major concourses, 3 under my ownership and 1 under its new owner. One of my dear friends in the register, Alan Wright, who's one of the founding members of the TSOA in Australia, He'd owned this TR3 since 1958. It was about 2 years old, 18 months old when he got it from the original owner. He raced it. It was supercharged on the drag strip. It's got a wonderful history. But Alan stopped using it about 35 years before I got it. And the car's got a genuine 52,000 miles from new. The interior in the car is a bit tatty. That's because it was the original factory fitted interior. And it's still there with all the carpet and everything. My wife Sue said, look, I really like TR4s. So what do you do if you've got 3 TRs in the garage and your wife says, I want another one? I did the obvious, bought it. Back when I bought the TR2 in February '76, I joined the TSOA, Triumph Sports Owners Association, another really wonderful club. But then a month or two later, there was an ad in the paper for people to look at forming a club for just the side screen TRs. Since then, I would have to say probably most of our close friends are register people. You know, we've travelled with them, we've been overseas with them. We go through the heartaches of life, and so on, and the joys of life together. And it's just been a fantastic experience. The club members are fantastic. If anybody's in a club and they want to get the most out of it, get involved with looking after the club and managing it. Join your communities. You get to work closely with people, you get to make really close friendships, and I think that's really, really important. As you can hear, I live under the flight path of Sydney Airport. We live 4 kilometres from the CBD of Sydney. There's a lot of traffic. People say, hey, why do you still use your TR2 in all this traffic? Because it's just so much fun to drive. And the traffic is normal to me. I was brought up here. I've lived in Sydney, apart from my Navy days around the country, I've lived here most of my life. And this is just normal. And you can enjoy a TR even in built-up areas. You don't need to be out in the country. In fact, there are 3 TRs I know of in New South Wales that are all used as their everyday car. In fact, the other 2 owners, it's their only car, and they live within 5 kilometres of me here.
Got a distinct exhaust note, haven't they?
Yeah.
4-cylinder engines.
Yeah. I think it's music.
Yeah.
That's the new tunnel that goes under the harbour, open next year. But we're coming up towards the ANZAC Bridge in a minute. It's a marvel. On the ANZAC Bridge.
Wow, stunning.
The city and the skyline there, Piedmont, Harbour Bridge, North Sydney, Chatswood, all visible. The new fish market's over here on the right.
Oh, yeah,
That's going to be stunning when it's finished.
Architecturally, yeah. So talky, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm in top at the moment. I'll put the overdrive on, and even with the overdrive on, you can get down to 1,000 RPM in overdrive and just accelerate away. You got Barangaroo and the lovely Crown Casino building. Again, it's a casino, but it's I like the shape of it. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful bit of kit. Off the glass front of the building. Yes, yes. used to work up there. It was a good place. Coming up towards the Harbour Bridge now. On the left up here, you've got Sydney Observatory with lovely parklands around it. Just here on the left.
The blend of the old and the new.
Yeah.
See the points of the Opera House over there.
We'll get a better view of it in a few minutes. If I go for a drive with the TRs on this route, if I leave at 11 o'clock in the morning, I get a pretty clear run.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Just going past Milson's Point railway station. It is. It's Sydney's a wonderful city. I was born here in the western suburbs, and but Sue and I have lived here now since 1990. 18 years away with the Navy, and when we first moved here, we came from Canberra, and Sue's from Canberra. And we were only going to be here for a year or 18 months on a posting with the Navy. And then I got promoted, and they gave me another posting in Sydney. I rang Sue, and she said, yippee, because she fell in love with the place. We won't go down there, but just down the hill here, another couple hundred metres is Luna Park.
Another iconic thing in Sydney.
Yeah. We can drive back around past its entrance.
Exhaust. Lovely.
Let's turn it around.
It looks wonderful. Oh my God. See you guys.
All the best.
Great day.
Can I take one picture of this?
Yeah, yes, please do.
I love this hat clip. I need one.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they? Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
How old is it?
It's a 1954. It's a Triumph, TR, Triumph, 1954.
You recently bought it, or
I've had it for 50 years.
Oh, well maintained.
Well,
Really.
Beautiful spot.
it's a marble city. What you've got here just in front of us is the Jeffrey Street Wharf, ferry wharf. The apartment buildings there are on Milson's Point, Carrabba Point. Carrabba Point just a bit further around. Going across the harbour, past the ferries, you can see the grey ships over there. That's Garden Island, the Navy dockyard. I spent quite a few years based on ships there and working there. Then you've got Lady Macquarie's Chair, part of the domain of Parkland of Sydney. Around past Farm Cove and then the Opera House, needs no introduction. Around to the city and the wonderful architecture of the city. And then to the bridge and the southern pylon at the other end and the north pylon at this end. It's just a wonderful scene. It's a wonderful city. The Throttle Shop, this car dealer, is on the left. It's just down there. Try and go slowly past it, let's see. Just here on the left.